Let us start with definition of terms. Ray is a part of a line where one end is a fixed point and the other extends infinitely in one direction. So this is a ray. Now an angle is formed if two rays have a common fixed point. So this is the two rays, they have a common fixed point. This is called the angle, which is usually denoted by the symbol theta. Now the angle is the closeness or openness of two rays. So let's draw another angle here. So this is a bigger angle than this angle. So that's the openness or closeness of two rays. Now the more common unit of measurement of an angle is called a degree. A full circle, let's just draw the Cartesian coordinate. A full circle is divided into 360 equal divisions of 1 degree. Let's try to imagine a pizza. If you have a pizza and you cut one slice of the pizza, so it will look like this. So it will have an angle. Now imagine the pizza divided into 360 equally small sizes. So one slice of that pizza, that one slice will be 1 degree. So that's the how close is the 1 degree. Now we go to ratio. Let's say we have two equilateral triangles. The internal angles of an equilateral triangles are all the same, 60 degrees. For example, this has 2 units of length, so they are all the same, equilateral. For example, this is 4 units in length. Now let us cut this vertically equally, so this will become like this. Now this is still 2, but this one, because it's half, it's only 1. This is still 60 degrees. Now this becomes, because it's divided, this is 30 degrees. Now this is a right angle, so this is 90 degrees. Now it's the same in here, so let's cut it into 2. This is still 4, this becomes 2, and this is 30, 60 degrees. Now the ratio of the triangles is the same, even if it becomes bigger. So this is but the internal angle is the same, 60 degrees. This is 30 degrees. Now let's try to find the side in here. So using Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So this is your a. So your a squared is equal to c squared minus b squared. This is 2 squared minus 1 squared. So this is 4 minus 1. So your a squared is equal to 3. Your a is equal to the square root of 3. So this is your square root of 3. Or in decimal is around 1.732. Now, for a bigger triangle with the same angles, the ratio will still be the same. So in here, this is 1. You double it, this is 2. So for a similar triangle, a bigger one but the same angles, so this is 2, it doubles, it becomes 4. Now this side, we can use the ratio we have taken from here to get the other side. So if this is 1 and it becomes 1 square root of 3, so this is 2, this is 2 square root of 3, or in decimal form is 1.732 times 2. So it's similar triangles will have the same ratios. So these ratios we can use in trigonometry to solve for triangles. Even if you have only an angle and one of the sides, you can solve for the rest of the sides of a triangle. Now, using the triangle we have derived earlier, we have this special triangle 1, 2, and 1.732 with a degree of 60 degrees angle. Now we can tabulate a sort of table of the ratios of this triangle. Now we have named the sides. So if this is your angle, the one this side which is adjacent to your angle is called adjacent. Now the side opposite your angle, we call it opposite. Now this is always the hypotenuse is the longest side, so we call it the hypotenuse. Now the ratio of the sides are always equal. So if we compute for the ratio of the opposite over the hypotenuse, so opposite over hypotenuse, that ratio is 1.732. So opposite of this one is 1.732 over hypotenuse, which is 2. So your decimal will be 0.866. So that is the ratio of the opposite over the hypotenuse. Now if we consider the ratio of the adjacent, this one over the hypotenuse, so let's say adjacent, ratio of adjacent over the hypotenuse, so that will be adjacent is 1, the hypotenuse is 2, so the ratio of 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. This is the ratio of adjacent over the hypotenuse. Let us now look at the ratio of the opposite over adjacent. So that is the ratio of opposite of 60 degrees divided by the adjacent. So that would be 1.732 over adjacent, which is 1. So divided by 1 is still the same, 1.732. Now let's make an example. For example, we have a triangle and one of the base is 10 inches and the angle is 60 degrees. We can now use these ratios to get the remaining sides. So this is adjacent to 60, so this is adjacent. Now let's say this is A, let's say this is C. So this A is opposite of 60 degrees, we call it opposite. This is also this is the longest one side, or this is called the hypotenuse. Now to get the value of A, So we need to find opposite given the adjacent. In here, we need opposite and adjacent. So which ratio is this one? Opposite and adjacent. So this is the opposite and adjacent ratio. So let's put this one, opposite and adjacent ratio. Opposite over adjacent. So this is 1.7. This is opposite over adjacent. So this is, you have a ratio of 1.732. 1.732 is equal to, this is A, we don't know yet what A is, over 10 inches. So we put the ratio and we put this ratio, opposite over adjacent. So to get A, so we need to multiply both sides by 10 inches. 10 inches. So A is equal to 17.32 inches. So that is A. We now found A. Now to get C, so we need hypotenuse and adjacent ratio. The ratio of adjacent and hypotenuse. In here, the hypotenuse and adjacent ratio is this one. So we use this ratio. 0.5 is equal to the hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent is this one, 10 inches. Adjacent is C, which we don't know yet. So to get C into the numerator, we multiply both sides by C. So C times 0.5 is equal to 10 inches. So to remove 0.5, we divide both sides by 0.5. 0.5. C is equal to 10 inches divided by 0.5, 20 inches. Now, mathematicians have replaced this ratio with a different name. Now, the ratio of opposite over hypotenuse, they have named sine. Now, the ratio of adjacent over hypotenuse, they have renamed it as cosine. And the ratio of the opposite over adjacent, they have renamed it as tangent. Now, in your calculator, and with the help of trigonometry, you can now find the remaining sides. If you have one angle and one side, you can find the remaining angles easily, regardless of what angle is in here. So you use the calculator. Now, there's a shortcut, by the way, for this one. So sine is opposite over adjacent. So if you can look at the letters of each one, SOH, CAH, TOA. So that is the short cut method to memorize. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So ka, and TOA, tangent, is opposite over adjacent, so TOA. So just easily to remember. So the sides that you have to use for the ratio. So if you have opposite and hypotenuse, you use the sine function. If what is given is, if you're looking for adjacent and hypotenuse, you use the cosine, and for the if it's given is opposite and adjacent, you use the tangent. Now let's have an example. We have a triangle with a 40-degree angle. This is a right triangle. We have 8 meters on the hypotenuse, we need to find x and y. So for finding the x and y, so we have what's given is hypotenuse is 8 meters. Now the angle is 40 degrees. So you want to find the opposite, looking for the opposite. So what you have is opposite and hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse. In here, opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So we have to use sine. So we put sine 40 degrees. And then we put the ratio opposite over hypotenuse, which is 8 meters. Now we use the calculator to find the ratio of sine 40 degrees. Sine 40 degrees is equal to 0.642 something. Now we can replace this sine 40 with the ratio that we found, 0.642 is equal to y over 8 meters. Now we're looking for y. There's a denominator. We multiply both sides by 8 meters. So we get y. This will cancel out. So 8 times 0.642 is 5.142 meters. So that is your y. Now to solve for x, so x is adjacent to the angle, so we call this is adjacent when we still have the hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse, looking at the ratios, adjacent and hypotenuse, this is the function that we need because it has the adjacent and hypotenuse. So cosine, so we're writing it cosine of 40 degrees. So adjacent is x over hypotenuse, which is 8 meters. So again, looking at the calculator, cosine of 40 is equal to 0.766 something. So we'll now write it on the board. We will replace cosine 40 with 0.766 x over 8 meters. So to get x, we multiply 8 meters on both sides. So this is x, this will cancel out. 8 meters times 0.766 is 6.128 meters. So this is your x.